Good morning. It is around 9:40 on day 2 of my reading 7 books in 7 days challenge. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I will link my TBR video where I announced, and kind of talked about it. And also my vlog from yesterday, my day 1 vlog, which is currently uploading. It is processing now. I still have to put together the thumbnail and everything and schedule it for probably 10:30. But right now, I just made my bed. I still have to brush my teeth and everything, and get dressed. And I think I'm probably gonna start on Hearts of Yours and Broken, probably soon, probably around the time that my video uploads, whenever that happens, after I schedule it and everything, maybe? I don't know. I'll play it by ear. But I'm very excited. I'm in a much better mood today. I think that I just kind of needed a chiller day yesterday. And now I'm actually in the mood to vlog and to read and everything, so I should be better today. Also, I'm sure that this vlog is going to be probably a little bit longer than yesterday's, just because yesterday I read a really short book, and today I am reading a pretty long book. I think it's around 450 pages. And it's also a fantasy book, so there's a lot more substance and everything, and that should be fun. But yesterday's vlog was around 17 minutes, so I really don't know how long this is gonna be. I mean, it doesn't really matter because you already know, but I'm filming this in fast, so. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of check in, come and say hello, I guess, and good morning, and start off the vlog, because I wanted to. So, I don't know if I'm gonna check in again before I start reading or after, but I guess we'll see. I'll be an enigma and just be very mysterious about it. So, I also don't know why my camera keeps blurring. Maybe I have to clean the lens. We'll see. But also, I forgot how difficult it is to hold this camera up. I don't know why it's so heavy, and I don't feel like investing in a vlog camera because I don't vlog that often, so I don't know, we might have to see. But holding this up with one arm in midair is difficult. But anyway, that's something for a different time. So I'm going to brush my teeth and get dressed and finish uploading this video and doing the thumbnail, and then I will check back in probably once I've read a little bit, and yeah, so see you later. Goodbye. I believe it is around 11 o'clock right now. I actually don't have my phone, so I cannot check, but I do have a reading update. I'm around 108 pages into Hearts of Yours and Broken by Brigid Kemmerer, and I'm really enjoying it so far. This is more of a companion. I mean, it's kind of a companion and a direct sequel, because the first book was told from the perspective of Ren and Harper. This book is told from the perspective of Gray, who was a side character in A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and Liamara, who is a newer character. And, I don't think she was even mentioned in book 1, so I think she's, brand new to this book. And I'm enjoying it so far. It's a little bit slow at the moment. There's not, a ton going on, and, I can't really get into much because this is a sequel. But, I do kind of wish that Harper and Ren were in this book as well. I'm fine with Gray and Liamara's perspective, but I think it would have added more dimension to the story to have had some more chapters from Harper and Ren, because I think it just would have, I don't know, I feel like there would have been more depth to this story. And I know that the third book, A Vow So Bold and Deadly, does have all 4 perspectives, so I am interested in that, but so far this is okay. Again, not a ton has happened. We're kind of just reacquainting ourselves with the world and with the characters. I am a little bit more into Liamara's perspective at the moment, because she's kind of dealing with more political intrigue, and Gray is kind of on the outskirts of the kingdom, kind of just doing random things. So I'm hoping that they will meet up quite soon, and we kind of can get back to, or get to all 4 of them interacting. So I'm excited for that, but it's going well so far, and I'm anticipating what is to come, because I feel like a lot is going to happen in this book. Also, I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure that because book 1 was a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, I don't, this is obviously not still a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, but I'm wondering if this is a retelling of a different fairy tale. I don't think so. I think it's just like kind of a continuation of the story, and we're deviating a little bit from the Beauty and the Beast storyline, and this is just like a regular fantasy novel. So I don't really know, but I have heard like a lot of mixed reviews about this book. Actually, like I've heard there are people that really love it and say it's better than the first book, and say that it like did, and there are other people that say that it didn't live up to the first book at all. So I don't really know how I'm gonna feel yet. So far, I do like book one a little bit more, but I am also only in like the first fourth of this book, so I'm sure that things will pick up a lot more in the next like 350 pages. For now, I'm probably just gonna watch TV or something. And yeah, I'm in a much better mood today. Yesterday I was just not in the greatest mood just generally, but I kind of got over it, and I have nothing to do today, so I'm kind of just gonna be chilling and sitting around, which is good because I picked quite a long book for today. So I am interested to see how long it'll take me to read this book, because there are some days when I've done like these sorts of challenges where I finish like early, like I did yesterday, and there are some days where I end up reading until midnight to finish, so I think this should be interesting. But right now, I'm really in the mood for some tea. I know I said in my vlog yesterday that I was gonna make some, and I didn't, so I think I'm gonna make some now. Riveting, am I right? But I think that I am going to go now, and I will check back in once I've probably gotten to like page 200 or something. I'm gonna try to read this book in like 100-page intervals, just so that I can, you know, be able to finish it today. It's also a really quick read. I really like the way that Brigid Kemmerer writes. It's very fast-paced, and I don't know why, I've gotten like Cursed, Dark and Lonely, I read it in like a weekend, and it was a 500-page book, and this is a little bit shorter, and so I'm sure I will be able to finish it today. I mean, like, that's the whole point, reading 7 books in 7 days. But yeah, I'm gonna go probably, actually what I'm gonna do now is see if there are any comments on my day 1 vlog, and also I don't think I posted about it on Twitter. So I'm gonna go do that, and I will see you later. Hello, it's definitely after 1, but I am now 209 pages into Hearts of Frozen Broken, and I am really enjoying it now. Like, at this point, I am so in. Like, I reached the point in a book where you just, like, feel like you can't stop, and I am having a really great time. There's something about the way that Brigid Kemmerer writes that is just so addicting and like makes you keep turning the pages, and I can't really explain what it is, but it's like, this is the second book I've read from her. Like, for like pretty long high fantasy books, like they are just like so, like, I don't even know the word, like they are just so captivating and engaging, and I just cannot wait to see like what happens in the second half-ish of this book. But the point where I'm at, all the characters have kind of like interacted with each other already, and also there's a new character in this book named Tycho, I think is his name, and Brigid Kemmerer recently announced that she is going to be doing another series set in this world where he is going to be the main character, and it's set like a little ways into the future after this series concludes. So it's kind of interesting seeing him for the first time in this book, and like knowing that he is going to get his own story. But right now I really like Liamara. I think I kind of like her a little bit more than Gray, which is funny because Gray was my favorite character in book 1, but I think Liamara is my favorite character in this book. We haven't really gotten a ton of Harper and Ren, which is a little bit upsetting, but I'm sure that they will be in it a little bit more in the next parts of this book, and also in book 3, because they do have POVs in that book. But right now, the funny thing is, like, this book is kind of all about them searching for this lost heir of Emberfall, and almost all of the characters know who it is. Like, 90% of the characters know who it is, but the prince, like, Ren, cannot figure it out, and it is so, like, frustrating, and I'm like, it kind of makes me backtrack and think about book 1 being like, do I really like him? Like, I can't remember. Like, he kind of feels like a little bit of a different character in this book, which is interesting. And I've never really read a series where book 1 is told from a certain character's like multiple characters' points of view, and then have the sequel focus on other characters, and then have them almost like go against one another. It's very interesting, and I think it adds a lot of intrigue to this story. But right now we kind of have Gray and Liamar like teaming together, and they're going to travel places, and I'm very excited to see how their relationship progresses, because I don't really know if they like end up with each other yet. I'm assuming so, just because they're like the two main characters, so it kind of just seems right, I guess. But I am excited to see like how they kind of interact with each other, and I think Liamar is really, really smart. I like her. I think she's a clever main character. I like her more than Harper, and I obviously like her a little bit more than Gray, but I'm sure that Gray will grow on me just like a little bit more throughout this book. He's just being very like broody and kind of closed off in this book, and I'm kind of want him to like break out of that, and he's being kind of like a tough nut to crack, but I'm sure that he will kind of change over the course of the rest of the book. But yeah, right now all I want to do is kind of keep reading, and it was a very good book to choose for a read-along, because as I said, it's just like, it's so addicting. So I'm really enjoying that aspect. But I have about like 240-ish pages left, I think. So I'll probably be able to get through that. But right now, I am going to go eat lunch. So yeah, I'm gonna go eat lunch and probably sit around and do something else. But I just really want to keep reading, so I'll probably pick the book back up quite soon. Also, if you can hear like construction noises, there's people working in our backyard on the pool, so just excuse that. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I keep like just talking so much because I'm like, I don't want these vlogs to be super short, and then they end up being really long. So I'm trying to go. Also, I'm just putting a lot of pressure on myself for these vlogs, and I'm gonna try to like stop doing that. Like, I want to be funny and witty and also like insightful and give like good, you know, like book check-in, like what is it? I don't even know what the word is. Like, I'm trying to give good reading updates and stuff and be engaging, but it's kind of just making this not fun, so I'm just gonna try to not put pressure on myself and just be normal. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go, and I will see you in a little bit. Alright, I am on page 303 of Hearts of Fierce and Broken, and I'm still enjoying it, though, caveat, the last like 100 pages I read, I don't think were as good as the first like 200 pages or so. When like from when I last updated you. I think like the last 100 pages were kind of just mostly travel, and I really am not a fan of travel in books. I think it's really boring and tedious most of the time, like 99% of the time. And like even in my books that I've written, anytime there's like travel, I try to like, I either like skip it, or, well, I don't think I've ever skipped it like completely, but like I either like skim it, like talk about it a little bit like in passing, or I make it as short as possible, because I don't think it's fun to read, I don't think it's fun to write, and I'm just not a fan of it. And the last 100 pages of this book were really just like journeying through the different places in this world, and there were like some plot points, but for the most part it was kind of just pretty boring. And I think that that could have been trimmed down a lot, like halfway. I mean, trimmed like by half, you know what I mean? Like, it could have been like 50 pages or less, but it did not need to be as long as it was. But now, like, where I finished, I'm more intrigued because we are at like a new castle, and there's some new like political intriguey things going on, and some new developments with the romances. And I do wish Harper and Ren were in this a little bit more, because I always find it a little weird when the main characters in the first book of a series are very minor side characters in the subsequent books. Like, they are pretty much tertiary characters in this book. Like, they were there in the beginning, but then they kind of started to fade away, and now they're really only mentioned in passing. So I do wish that they were here a little bit more, maybe just like some interstitial chapters from their POVs. But like, for the most part, it's not a huge deterrent for me. However, I am excited to see like what happens in this new place. They are now in Seal Shallow, I think is how you say it, which is where Liamara is from, which I am a lot more interested in now that we're done with the travel bit. And I'm interested to see more character development. I think that Gray is starting to kind of accept his role a little bit more. We learn more about him and his backstory. Not like his backstory, but like his inner conflicts, I guess. And that is intriguing to me. And I still really, really like Liamara, but she's kind of hasn't had much development from the beginning of the story. She's kind of just like the same as she's been since the beginning, but I'm sure that that will change by the end of this book. I still have about 150 pages left, so I'm not like gonna give a full review now, but I still really am liking it, and even though those last like 100 pages were a little bit iffy, but I feel like I felt the same way about it for So Dark and Lonely. The middle just dragged a little bit for me, but the beginning and the end were really solid, so I think I kind of have to just get through that center of the story, and then I can get to the really good parts, because I feel like the next 150 pages of this book are going to be very action-packed, because we're in like a new location, and there's new stuff going on, and I'm sure that Ren and Harper will be coming back, because there was like a big kind of reveal in this book, where like some people learned some things, and it's kind of going to spread throughout the kingdoms, and I'm sure that the Gray and Liamara and Ren and Harper are gonna kind of come together. I don't know if they're gonna like team up together like by the end of this book and be like one big group, or if some of them are gonna like branch off, or if they're gonna be pitted against each other. I'm not really sure, but I'm interested to see what's gonna happen, because I think the political alliances in this book are done really well. And I think it's very interesting the way that Brigid Kemmerer is doing the conflicts in this book, because it's kind of unlike any other sequel that I've ever read. I don't think I've ever read a series where like the main characters are almost pitted against each other, so I'm liking that, but I'm weary and apprehensive, but also kind of intrigued at the same time. So I am gonna go, and I'm probably gonna read like the next 100 pages sometime soon, and like sometime before dinner. I don't actually know what time it is. My phone is all the way over there. But I think it's around maybe 4:30, possibly. I don't know. But yeah, before we eat dinner, I'm probably gonna read a little bit more, and then I will most likely finish the book like right after dinner, like after I shower and everything, and before we like go watch a movie in the media room. But before then, or until then, I guess I'm just going to kind of relax a little bit. I had some tea earlier, I had a snack, so I'm not really hungry or anything. I'm probably just going to watch some booktube or something, and I will see you when I have another reading update. So, it is quite a bit later. As you can tell, it's kind of dark outside, but I am about to go eat dinner. I do have a reading update, though. I am 398 pages into my book, so I have about like 50 pages left, and I kind of feel the same way I did when I last updated. It's still good, and I'm sure that I will still end up giving the book like a 4 stars, maybe 3.75, but I just feel like I am enjoying it a little bit less than I was in the beginning. I liked the beginning a little bit more because there was more potential, and there were like other things going on, and I just feel like both the plot and the characters, it had like a lot of kind of directions that they could go in, and it took like different directions than I thought. Like, I hadn't really predicted anything, but like I didn't really expect the directions that they went in, which like usually is good. Like, you don't want to like expect everything to happen the way you expected it to, but it was kind of like in a way that a little bit disappointed me. Again, like, that sounds really negative, but I am still like really enjoying the book, but I just feel like it went down a path that I am not the biggest fan of, but like I don't think ruined the book or anything. So it's not like something where I'm gonna give this like 2 stars now and like I hate this book. I just think that I like it less than I did when I first started. Like, the first 200 pages, I think I really, really liked, and I was ready to give this book like a 4.5 out of 5 stars, and then things kind of went a little bit downhill. But I do have 50 pages left, and I'm sure that the ending will be like really explosive and everything. But I think the last, like, from page 200, things have just been kind of slow and meandering, and I don't love the characters enough where I'm okay with their like not being plot development. Like, there are some books where I just absolutely love the characters and I'm fine with there not being a ton of plot points, and movement in the story, but with this series, like, I do really like the characters, but I'm not, like, so in love with them where I'm okay with them kind of doing nothing for 200 pages. So while I am not enjoying it as much as I was in the beginning, I still think that this is a solid sequel, and I probably will end up giving it like around 4 stars, but we shall see with the ending. I feel like it could go either way. There is also this creature in this book, and I just cannot figure them out. Like, I don't understand what they are, and I don't really know how I feel about them, because they are kind of working against and for the main characters at the exact same time. And I do like the politics of, like, Seal Shallow, which is where Liamara is from. Oh my god, I almost whacked myself in the face of the book. Which is where Liamara is from, and where, like, some of the action of the last 100 pages took place. But I just don't think that, like, it was really handled in the best way. I sound really negative, I don't know why. But, like, I thought that when we got to the palace of Seal Shallow that things would really pick up, but it was kind of just, again, like, meandering, and I feel like I feel like the first 200 pages were so action-packed and everything, and then everything kind of just went a little bit south, and I wish I could kind of just, like, read this book and, like, tell Brigid to, like, cut back on some things, because I think if this book was, like, 350 pages, I'd probably give it, like, a 4.5 stars or more. And again, like I feel like I'm saying this for the millionth time, it's not bad, and I will probably give it 4 stars, and, like, by the time that I finish this book, when I update you later tonight, I will probably be like, I don't really know what I was talking about, the ending really made up for it, but I'm just talking about my feelings at the moment. I feel like this book just took some twists that I was not really anticipating, and I feel kind of still a little bit ambivalent. Like, I just feel kind of like, I'm just like, okay, and I am hoping that the last 50 pages and the ending of this book are gonna make up for it and just propel me into the 3rd book whenever I read that, and I have a feeling that it will. So, we shall see. I'm gonna go eat dinner because I am friggin' hungry, and then I'm going to shower and everything and finish A Heart So Fierce and Broken. Okay, it is around 8:30, we had dinner, and I took a shower, and I finished A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Brigid Kemmerer, and that ending, I am shook, truly. That definitely, like, the last bit of this book definitely, like, solidified a 4-star rating for me. The beginning was really good, and it was, like, 4.5. The next, like, 200 pages or so were good, like, still, like, a 3.5. But then the ending really brought it back up to a 4. So I really, really liked the ending. Also, I really liked how this book kind of had, like, a frame narrative, because the first chapter is told from Harper's perspective, and then the majority, like 90% of the, 95 actually percent of the rest of the book is told from Gray and Liamara, but then the epilogue was told from Ren's POV, and again, I know that in A Vow So Bold and Deadly, we get all 4 of their POVs, so I'm really excited for that, and the way that this book ended has me super intrigued in how the final book will go. I don't know how it's all going to be wrapped up, that, like, in that short amount of time, and I know book 3 is the shortest one out of this whole series, so I'm interested to see how she deals with that. I really haven't heard much about that book. I know that most people liked book 1. There was kind of like, this book was a little bit more, derisive, is that the word? I can't remember. So yeah, this book, like, there was a lot more conjecture, I guess. I can't think of the right word at the moment. And so, but I haven't heard a ton about the 3rd book, so I guess we shall see what happens with that when I read it eventually. But I am really pleased with this sequel. It's not the best sequel I've ever read, but I think it picks up from book 1 really nicely, and I like how it's going to lead into book 3. It is a little weird because it kind of almost backtracked and, like, changed some things about book 1. I don't mind it a ton, but it's interesting to see what Brigid Kemmerer is doing with one of the main characters from A Curse So Dark and Lonely. But all in all, today was a pretty good day. The book was 445 pages, so I read quite a lot today, and I had a pretty good day in general. I already have 2 books down, so 2 books, 2 days, we are going strong. I'm not sure exactly what book I'm going to read tomorrow. I guess we will decide in the morning, but that is it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. All my social media links are in the description box below, and I will see you tomorrow for day 3. Bye!